So here we are in the TS5. This thing is a premium American TD, Tier 8. It's certainly acknowledged as being one of the better TDs in the game, I suppose, particularly in terms of ones without turrets, so fixed superstructure. It's quite an older tank now, I guess, although it certainly doesn't. It's not one of the really old ones dating back to the beginnings of the game by any means. It's, I'd say it's been around probably for at least 5 or 6 years, maybe a bit longer. I've always had a reasonable amount of success with this thing, but it is a very situational tank to some degree. Now, its claim to fame, I suppose, is probably a couple of things. Its gun is certainly very, very good. We have a 120mm gun with a reload of about 6.8 seconds. That gives a very good DPM for this thing. And the gun is actually very strong, particularly close up. The standard shell has 248mm of pen, and the heat shell has 300, so it's pretty good. So we actually managed to pin him with a standard shell there. We'll swap to heat because if we're only going to see his turret, we'll probably need it. The only real drawback with this gun is its, I guess, lack of accuracy. It is not an accurate gun. Well, so far it's not letting us down here. 3 shots and 3 pins. But you can't expect to get it all your own way, but this is quite a good battle. Now the other major thing about this tank is it has quite good frontal armour. It is definitely an assault TD as opposed to a sniping PD, particularly with such an inaccurate gun. The dispersion of the gun's .042 by standard, which is not great. Now, this is not a bad little spot for this tank. Its weak spots are certainly the hatch on top, but also the lower plate. Now, we can actually hide most of our lower plate in this scenario because of this little rise here, and it really is only I suppose the lower plate that's really vulnerable. It's getting a little bit harder here. Game's going quite evenly, but we've had a pretty good run with the gun so far. Now, trouble is with the dispersion that I've got, I'm trying to change target between it's really way too late. Between the Scorpion and the Centurion is not great. Not quite sure what that TS-54 wants me to help him with. Anyway, we get one into the Scorpion. Blimey, they're all coming. They are all coming. Which is sort of what we want. I don't think many of them realise just how voracious this thing can be. It's a bit like driving a tortoise at the next tier up. Except this thing is probably a little bit more mobile than the tortoise. Generally speaking, its armour is can be a bit dodgy at times, but if you get in the right, that's really about the first time the gun's really let us down in terms of totally missing a shot. Ooh, 7-hole HP damage. Oh, the BZ, gee. And the BZ firing HE does 145 again because this thing has really good. Oh, that's terrible. This thing has up to 260mm of armour on the front of it. The reason it does so well is because of the ballistic shape. Firing against that guy. So if we have a look, you can see just how rounded the front of this thing is. It does make it really hard for enemy tanks to pin. Let's see if we can deal with this guy. probably shouldn't have come around there with the VZ's disappearing down the hill. Probably should have not put my side to him, but I think he's a little bit busy. Okay, and we can go down here. Now, Lerva is a strong opponent. Oh, I just shot him in the turret, which was not a good idea. We've run out of heat rounds at this stage. That's okay. Again, the standard rounds on this thing are pretty damn good. 248 pen is going to go through the front of. We're probably a bit lucky that the Burrow decided to shoot at our friend there and not us. But the game is almost over now. Done 4,500 damage. I don't think there's any way we're going to catch up with this Burrow. Oh, jeez. We were probably a bit lucky. We were just a bit too far around the corner for the issue to get us there. He probably wouldn't have got us. It would have been a pretty high roll for him to get us with one shot, but nevertheless, now we'll cue a HE shot. He was on full health. Now we won't go rushing in, we'll pull back. And yeah, that was a HE pen for 520. We did pen us, but as I thought, it wasn't enough to kill us, and we take him out, and that's the game. Now, 5,500 damage, that's pretty good. That was in fact an ace in this thing, which we'll see once we go back to the garage. Okay, so here we are back in the garage after that pretty impressive battle. Impressive from the tank's point of view. I never claimed to be a marvellous player, just good to average, I guess. But anyway, that was a really good game, and it demonstrates that this thing can still do well. I thought it was worthwhile coming back to the garage and having a quick look at how I've got it set up. So I do have an innovative loading system. I've got just normal hardening, and I've got a turbo. With a lot of these Assault TDs, a turbo is absolutely essential. And we can see on my main loadout, so I've got 24 AP, 14 H heat, and 2 HE. Anyway, let's have a look at the results from that battle. So there we can see it's an ace. We got over 4 kills, so we got a fighter. We got a steel wall, although we only blocked 1670, which is not that excessive. And we got a high caliber, and that's where this thing did really well. 5553, so 5,553. Very nice XP score, 1693. But also, as you would hope with a good premium tank, we actually did make some money there. You see a profit of almost 71,000. So that's a pretty good effort in a premium tank. And you know, this one's quite an old premium at this stage without any fancy tricks to it. But yeah, the old TS5, it's quite a reliable tank and still can hold up. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.